Okay, so now let me double click here and let's open this Pycharm by Jet Brains. Now you will see that because I already have been teaching a lot, so you find here that when I open this, this is how it's going to look like, where I have created the chapters, and this is the version of the, you see that .py is a extension we use. So if I show you, these are all the chapters you're going to cover. So this is where I will teach you how to write the code. Okay, this is how it is. Now basically for you, when you go and practice, because you have to create all these from the scratch, isn't it? So first of all, let me close this from here. Okay, so you can simply go in the file and you can say that I want to create a new project. Okay, so when you create the new project, this is your by default location when you install the Pycharm. If you remember that the option is there to change also, right? So anyways, if you click on this, see browse, you can click on this browse and you can define any other path as well. So for me, this is basically where I will be keeping my projects. Then this is the environment, virtual environment. You don't have to do anything. One important thing is that uh, some people, what they do, they install the PyCharm only, or any other idle, and they do not download the Python, because of which here the interpreter, which we need, as I was telling you, that this is a code editor, this is going to, interpreter is going to connect you with the Python. So that's why we need to install Python first. You can download in the vice versa order also, but make sure you download both IDE as well as Python, because then interpreter will not be able to, it will not be located here. You remember that last time in the last lecture I showed you that the Python, the folder, let me show you if you remember or not. Maybe that's not the point. I'll just quickly revise this for you. See this, this is where the by default the Python actually got installed. Okay, this is where the Python got installed. So that's what exactly the option is here. Okay, now sometime what happens, suppose your system is formatted, you have uninstalled everything. Now you, what you have done, you have uninstalled everything, and now you are going to install, let's say, once again, once your system is up, it's running, and then you go and install the things. So sometime what happens, if this location is going to change, then you have to go and correct this location here, because your interpreter, it should have this python.exe file, right? Same exe file which is available here. Okay, basically when you go and run this, it says that when you go and run any program, you will see how to run the programs. They will say that Python not found, and that's because of the reason that, because you have, the path might have changed because from the previous location, right? So in that case, what we are supposed to do is, we are supposed to go in the settings. Okay, now when you go in the setting, under this tab, you see that Python interpreter is there. So this is where you have to add that interpreter. Generally you get the prompt here to configure the interpreter, so you just have to do that. But in case if you want to change the location, you can change the location from here. The point is very simple. If you install the Python gets installed. If you install the PyCharm, that will be installed, and automatically your system will detect, right? So there will be no challenge. But just in case, when you run the program, and like for example, I show you, suppose this is a program, right? This is already a created program. Now just in case, if I try to run this program, so you go and run, and you say that run this program from here, right? Run basic. So if you don't see the program output over here in this window, you just go and check here. They actually say that interpreter is not configured. So you just have to follow that visit, and it is going to be configured. All right, so that's the thing. So now the thing is that here I can open multiple modules, and we can go inside any of the module. Like for example, I'm here, right? So when I'm going to run this, this is going to be executed. Okay, and one more thing, that you can say control, so you can say control A, and you can run this from here also. Okay, so this is going to run. So whenever this runs, this is where the output comes. If you go here, for example, right, and if I now try to run, you see that I don't get that 1.2 the module, right? Because this is the previous, the run module. So what I can do, I can just say control A, and I can right click, and I can say run this particular chapter, variable chapter 1.4, and in fact you can use the shortcut key as well. This is how basically we run it. Once you have run this, the next time if you again further want to run it, you will see here in this run command. Okay, see now Pycharm is a very big idol, so they also keep giving you the tip every time you open it. Every day when you open it, you will see that they are giving you tip of the day. So I mean, you can go through it, you can go through the documentation as well. So there are a lot of things, like in the help section you can find the tip of the day, all that keyboards, the shortcuts, everything. My point is that don't go try to do everything in hurry. Give yourself time. Now as you see that even I'm just giving you the brief idea about it, because this is not important. This you will get the understanding automatically once you become the pro in this programming. For us, the main important thing is to understand the structure, the coding, how it is built. These all features, this is something you can even google it, you will understand it, right? Anytime you think that okay, I think I don't know a particular shortcut key or this feature available or not, you can google it, right? These are the very basic things. Programmers doesn't waste time on these things. Okay, so as I said that, see, I have created here a shortcut for those Python projects which I was showing you. So this is where all the Python projects will be created. So if if I try to create here any project, for example I want to create a project, let's say demo, right? Now you see that once this is created, automatically in your system this will also be created. These are all the chapters, right? So now I can right click on this, and under this folder I can say new, and I can say I want to create a file. Always use this Python file. Okay, the moment I say that okay, the file is, let's say, demo 1.0 for example, right? Just press enter. Just press enter. Okay, and you see that automatically .py extension is available. So this is where we will go and write the program. Okay, if I have to close this module, I can close this. If I have to delete this, I can right click on this and I can just say that delete. Okay, this is the delete option. This is how it is. So you can delete this as well. Now if I have to delete the folder, again you can go and say right click and delete. So you can delete from this also environment, and you can delete from here also. Same way, if I have to create any folder, I can right click here and I can say that okay, I want to create first of all a file, right? So I'm just, so basically now what do you exactly want to do, that's important. So let's say I want to create a file. So if I create here a file, let's say this is my demo file, I say enter, and you see that the demo file is created because it's a file. So this is going to be .py. Okay, this is going to be .py. Look at this. This is now the Python file. Okay, so I first of all what I do is I don't keep the files in this way. We can create the folders, right? So first we can create the folder and then we can put the things inside that. Okay, so for example now I say that okay, so this is going to be demo, for example. I press enter. Look at this. Now the demo is created. So same way the demo folder is created. Now I click on this and now I can say okay, I want to put my all the Python files inside this. Okay, clear, right? So what I'm saying is that you can do this from Pycharm also, you can do this from the folder window also. It's one and the same thing. Okay, so this is where we will start now creating the projects. So projects can also be copied and pasted. Like for example, I have created here a basic 1.0, right? If I have to, let's say, go and use this, if I have to, I mean, let's say we have written here any program. Okay, so let's go and first of all go here and write here a program. So you see that I've just written a print hello. So if I'm going to run this again, if I run this, you see I don't see that the module name 1.4 is coming. So what I'm going to do, I say control A, control shift F10, or maybe you can right click and you can say that just run this basic 1.0. So when you run this, a hello world is printed. Okay, so you can always go and increase or decrease the space based on your comfort level, and this can also be hide. I can hide also. If I have to run this again, now you don't have to every time say control shift F10. You can run this using the run basic, I mean using this menu also, and at the same time you can use shift F10 also. Okay, so the program is going to run. Okay, so that's how it is. Now what I was telling you actually is that if I have to create a copy of this, let's say this is a program and I want to use this program in my another module, right? So instead of copying this control A, control C, what we can do, we can just say that control C, control V, or you can just say right click and say copy, and then say that paste. Control C, control V is also going to work. So you can just go and now change the reference here, and you see the basic 2.0 will also be created. So these are the things. Okay, so now you know that how to run the this particular the modules. So again, if I go here, I don't see the basic 2.0, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say that control shift F10, for example, control shift F10, it has run. If I go back here, now I can see. So first time you have to run this. Okay, so this is how it is. Any point in time, if you have to go and when you're writing the code, suppose, so I can fully, if I have to copy this, I can use shift key and I can press my down arrow key, and you see this is copied, control C, and now I press enter and say control V. So this is how I can say control C, control V. I can copy also. Anytime if you have to comment this line, which means Python should not, because suppose I just say that practice. Now you know that if we run this, the compiler will not be able to understand this, and that's what you will get to see here, that this is not defined. Now this is just a comment, so we can put the hash before this line to comment it out. Very basic thing. You can use the shortcut key, which is control backslash. Look at this. Now why the control backslash is useful? Suppose if you have multiple lines, suppose 10 lines, 15 lines, and you want to comment them. So first of all, you can select that, press the shift key and keep pressing down arrow key, and this is going to select everything. Once all the lines are selected, press shift and backslash, okay, the key which is next to your shift key. So now just say that control backslash. Okay, so control backslash is going to actually control key and plus your backslash, this one. This is to insert the comments in Python or to remove the comments as well. So if I'm just going to say that, okay, this is selected, and I say control backslash again, you see the comments are gone. Okay, so these are the very basic things. Okay, these are the basic things which you should know, and then gradually as we move ahead, you will be more comfortable with this. Okay, so this is how we go and create the projects, and inside the projects you can create as many files as you want. Now, in the next lecture, we will start with our first, actually, the coding, where we will be actually starting with the variables and what are the data types and why do we need the variables. So everything we will be discussing, right?